You might know that I grew up in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and started my business in Houston, Texas. God bless Houston. God bless Louisiana. God bless you. Houston, stay strong. We're gonna fly to Houston tomorrow. We're gonna fly into Houston Hobby with a bunch of supplies, a bunch of dry goods for relief from Harvey, okay? Houston's where I started my business. I love the people there. I lived there for 5 years. And what we're gonna do is all 10X GrowthCon tickets that are bought this weekend, 100% of the proceeds are gonna go to this effort. So we really need your help. I appreciate your help. We're gonna fly into Hobby. It looks like we're flying into Hobby, and then we're gonna have 3 trucks meet us there and distribute at the NRG, where people are one of the major shelters. I think there's 7,500 people in there right now. So if you can't buy a 10X GrowthCon ticket, if you hit the link below and you wanna contribute, you wanna help us. We don't need stuff. We need to go get stuff at Costco. We're just gonna load up the plane with what it can handle. Appreciate your help. Appreciate your support. Please share this video. Let people know that we're doing this. We need 3 trucks to meet us. I think we got that handled already. Red Cross is going to meet us over there, drive us to NRG. Anything you can do, we would appreciate it. It's $5, $10, $50, $100, $500, $5,000, whatever. If you buy a ticket to the 10X GrowthCon, all that money this weekend goes to relief efforts for Harvey, okay? God bless Houston. God bless Louisiana. God bless you. Houston, stay strong.
Icon Funding is the leader in creative real estate capital. With millions of dollars available to investors immediately, home flippers and developers, we provide fast, flexible funding and offer a simple and easy approval process. We have terms that are tailored to your needs, and most of our creative loaning programs are based on the property value and not your credit. We can have you closed and moving forward in as little as 3 days. Through our no financials required and all credit accepted loan program, along with our reduced rates and fees, we are able to close commercial loans that are outside of conventional lending guidelines. If you want to learn more, go to iconfunding.net. That's iconfunding.net for your free consultation with our experts and professionals. Go to iconfunding.net.
So welcome, guys. It's Young Hustlers. I'm at Jared Glant. This is Thursday, 2 noon, 2 p.m. I'm thinking of the other webinar we got. Noon East Coast Standard Time. This show's for the millennials. This show is for Gen Y. This show are for the people out there who are trying to make the most out of their life in the shortest period of time possible. You really don't even have to be any age to fall into that group. So the show we're doing today is the Pitch Show. This is a show we do on probably a monthly basis. We do this show where we have people call in with questions about the product they sell, how they can get little advice, get little tips and tricks to get a little faster, get a little quicker, get a little more confident with their pitch so that they can be more effective and ultimately make more money, because that's what this show's about. The show's about getting you and your skill and ability to a level where you can actually go out and produce. Now, yesterday, I don't know if you guys were on, but we had a webinar that we did, a webcast, and it was called How to Make Millions in Business. There were 3 gentlemen on board there, Grant Cardone, Fran Tarkenton, and Bob Duggan. All these guys, I think the lowest net worth in the bunch was $50 million. Highly, highly successful people. And all of these guys, the one common thread that I saw between them is they all had this ability to just be really captivating. Whether it's Bob and his energy, or Grant and his conviction, or Fran and his stories, they all have the ability to really draw people in. They're salespeople, right? And so that just got me thinking about the opportunity that it is for millennials if you can really get your head wrapped around this thing called sales. I really didn't figure it out for myself until I was probably 26 years old. I got a late start. Even to this day, I still feel like I'm playing behind. I see Grant doing his math about when his career started picking up, and I'm like, okay, hey, where am I at compared to that? So if you've just gotten to that point where you're thinking, man, when's it gonna start picking up for me? When is my breakout moment? There is no age that happens at. It's a decision that gets made. When I turned 26 years old, I didn't just wake up and say, hey, 26 is the age I'm gonna get serious. It was because I made a decision. So if you're 18 years old, if you're 20 years old, if you're 30 years old, if you're 40, maybe even 50, it's never too late to make the decision to actually go all in and become a professional at this thing called sales, because there's some money to be made in sales. Don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. I got guys over in that sales office under 30 years old that'll make more money in the next 10 years than guys that are older than them will make probably in their life, because they just came here and they did the hard work, right? They learned how to sell. They learned how to prospect. They learned how to pitch. They learned how to make the cold call. They learned how to do the thing that nobody wants to do, the hard work, right? Selling isn't always the sexy, fun thing that it gets made out to be. I mean, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. And so this show is about your pitch. Now, I got a quick story to tell you about the pitch, because last night, in my opinion, we had an unbelievable webcast. The content was, for me, it was a game changer. It was a game changer sitting in a room with those three guys, listening to them share their war stories about what they did and how they became successful, because when I see other people do it, it makes it more real for me. Okay, when I see somebody else going out there and being successful, every word that comes out of their mouth, I'm like listening for the gold, man. Where'd it come from? I don't know if you're the same way, but for me, that's a big opportunity. And sitting up here listening to those guys it was something else, man. It was something else. So anyways, I'll get back to it. Sales, huge opportunity. We're gonna cover your pitch today. We're gonna get you lined in. Last night, we did a miserable job at the pitch, right? In my opinion, we did an unbelievable job driving traffic, great speakers, great content, unbelievable audience. A lot of people signed up for it, but we kind of fell short on the pitch. And I'm going to go over a few things that we did, in my opinion, that prevented us from pitching effectively and to where we could really hit those numbers. Man, there's just so much opportunity out there. It's inspiring for me. I was on the phone today with a company that we're actually doing a speaking event for coming up here, I believe in January, and they got sales guys making over $1 million a year. They're selling a product in a specific industry, and their average sales guy makes between 300 and 600 grand a year, and their top guys make over $1 million. And I'm just like, man, there's so much opportunity if you could get your head wrapped around this thing called sales. And as a millennial, the sooner you can figure this out, the sooner if I would have been able to just figure this thing out the right way 5 years earlier, 21 years old, man, who knows where I'd be right now. So again, my point today, it's not too late. We're going to handle your pitch today. We got 4 callers on the line already. I'm waiting for more, right? This pitch show, it only works if you guys participate, if you guys call in. 305-865-8668. We're going to dissect your pitch today. I've got 3 points that I'm going to share with you about your cold call pitch, about that opening call to a cold door. They don't know you. They're not interested in what you have to say. They're probably trying to hang up on you as quick as possible. So what can you do to stay hooked in, to stay sticky, to stay like Mike Bonnet sticky, as we call it in the room there, where you just got your teeth sunk in and you're not letting go. All right, we're going to cover that today. We're going to dissect your pitch. We're going to give you some quick tips and some little transitions that you use that are going to be magic. We'll see you after the break.
Sometimes you need a reminder, a quick pickup and a set in the right direction. Every question has a topic, every fork in the road has an answer, and Rob Thompson has that answer for you. 60 Seconds with Rob is a YouTube video series designed to engage you, inspire you, motivate you, and get you set on the right path to wealth creation and a better life. Subscribe, like, comment, and follow along with Rob Thompson's 60 Seconds with Rob. Are you ready to turn your knowledge, expertise, and ideas into millions? Go from being average and ordinary to a highly respected and highly paid expert and authority in any niche. Russell Whitney, the expert mentor, has worked with top experts around the world. People like Robert Kiyosaki, Dan Graziosi, Matt Lloyd, and many others, taking their knowledge to the global marketplace. Join Russell's free Expert Mentor online class. You'll learn how to boost your sales and influence and 10x your income as a highly paid expert in your niche. Go now, expertmentor.com expertmentor.com. Register for this free Expert Mentor training for fans of Grant Cardone. That's expertmentor.com. Too many people are being kept from their dreams by circumstances they couldn't control and mistakes from a long time ago. All they needed was a second chance or a fresh start. That's why Cash Now was created. Since 1997, Ray Abood, owner of Cash Now, has been the premier expert in home renovation and resale in the York tri-state area. Dedicated to premier customer service, getting the best deals at the lowest price, this is the only expert company you should deal with when it comes to buying and selling a home. Offering a 5-step home buying process, Ray and his team will ensure your needs are covered and get you closer to your dreams of buying a home in any city across the United States. To find out more on how you can get started on owning or selling a home, visit cashnowpa.com. That's cashnowpa.com to get started.
There is only one company to work for in the smart home industry, Skyline Security. Right now is looking for the best of the Grant Cardone following to join their team and expand financially and professionally. Go to joinskyline.com to register. Labeled by Inc. 5000 as the fastest growing company for the last 2 years in a row, you get to protect families, grow your wealth, and join a team of top producers. Skyline is looking for great people. Go to joinskyline.com. That's joinskyline.com to get started on a brand new 10x career path. Go to joinskyline.com to register.
All right, we're back. We're just going to get right into it. The pitch show. My 3 key points, the 3 key things you need to do to be tight on every call. Number 1, you need to be concise. Now, concise was a word that when I was typing it out, I was like, keep it simple, but concise just seemed to me to be a better word to put in there. And then I started thinking, I was like, what does that even mean? What does concise even mean? I mean, I think I know what it means, because of how I've heard it be used. But listen to this definition. Giving a lot of information clearly and in a few words. Brief but comprehensive. So it means like getting as much impactful, meaningful words put together in the shortest amount of time possible. So when I started thinking about that in terms of the call, literally every word that comes out of your mouth needs to be thought through, right? When you have that moment where you've got 15 seconds before somebody clicks and hangs up on you, if you're making cold calls, or you've got that 10-second or 15-second clip when you walk into somebody's business and you're eye to eye with them and you have to deliver your opening statement, you have to be, every single word has to be planned out. If you start adding things and you start shooting from the hip, next thing you know, you're all over the place. You've gotten far away from your base, right? So it's got to be concise. Number 2, clearly communicate your offer. And we're going to get into some callers in a second here, but I just want to go over these bullet points here. So number 1, keep it concise. Number 2, clearly communicate your offer. Drives me crazy, okay? When people call and they try to sell me something, they talk for a minute and a half, and after they're done talking, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like, I've got no clue what they're asking me for. Like, I will literally say, so what are you asking me for? They tell me this big, long story. They give me all this information, a lot of jargon and words that I don't understand, and at the end, I'm like, okay, what do you want? Like, I don't know what you're calling me for. So you have to clearly communicate. So even to the point where, let's just say you're working in sales training, or you worked in roofs, or you worked in technology. Like, you should have a pitch that is so concise, and you should be able to clearly communicate enough about what you do in that opening that somebody who's not in your industry should know exactly what you're asking for. It should be that simple. Think about all the things people have going on today. I mean, I'm trying to clean everything up from the webinar. I'm getting contracts sent out. I got our new pilot sitting down, and I'm chatting with him about his business, our business. I got to prepare for this thing, and somebody calls me, and they want to try to sell me something. I got so much stuff going on. I'm up to my eyeballs. You got to communicate in English, all right? And then number 3, be prepared to handle objections. Now, this is the one that's going to save you, no matter what. This is the one that'll save you. This will give you confidence. It'll give you certainty, right? This is what can save the call, is your ability to actually handle a customer's objections. And so I'll give you some things that you can do for that. But let's go to the first caller, Paul from New York. Paul, what's happening?
How you doing, Jared? My main man.
Good, good, good. What's going on, man? I appreciate you calling.
You know, man, I talked to you a few months ago when I was going out cold calling blind, just businesses, because I had a surgery come up and I couldn't see. And I got to tell you, man, your work and Grant's work has so drastically affected my life. It is truly incredible, man. I really appreciate you guys.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. What are you selling now? You still selling the same thing?
You know, I actually started moving around. I now am selling financial services, and the reason I'm calling, I obviously bought millions on the phone because you would literally have to be out of your mind,
right,
and not buy that. I mean, you have to have lost it.
And what Paul's talking about, just in case y'all haven't heard about that, we have a program called Millions on the Phone. If you go to millionsonthephone.com, it's basically how to turn your job selling over the phone into a job where you can make millions. So thanks for bringing that up. Keep going, Paul.
So what I noticed about that program is that being on selling financial services, Grant really didn't hit on that specifically. And I know that to be successful, you got to be like a surgeon, man. You got to know your tools, you got to know what you're doing. So I wrote out my own pitch based on the other pitches that he had for the roofing company and for the other companies there. And I was curious if I could just say my pitch and then have you go over it and dismantle it and destroy it and make it better.
Let's roll, man. Let's roll. Let's hear it.
Hi, this is Paul from Prime Commercial. My Vice President Keith told me to call your company today about our secured loans that have...
Can I stop you right there?
Rate.
Can I stop you right there?
Yep.
I wouldn't tell somebody at the beginning of the call that somebody else told you to call.
Okay.
Because to me it sounds like you're not interested in me. You're just doing this call because somebody else told you to do it.
Gotcha.
I would actually change that. Instead of saying, "Hey, my VP Paul told me to reach out to you," I would actually say, "Hey, you know, I wanted to reach out to you today because I came across some information I know you're going to find valuable."
There we go.
Or whatever you were going to say right there, but make it personal, like you actually said, "Hey, this was valuable enough. I thought of you. I wanted to share this with you because I'm concerned with your financial security, if that's in fact what you're talking about." Okay, so roll into the rest of the script.
So then from there, where am I at? About our secured loans that we have with incredible rates exclusively for medical professionals. To be sure that I can help your company, are you looking to expand your medical practice?
What happens if they say no?
If they say no, I'm going to say, in this economy, we all need to grow our businesses as much as possible to provide a future for our family. Is that something that you're interested in?
Is what something I'm interested in?
Expanding the future of your family through making your business.
So that was your rebuttal?
Correct.
Okay, so the first thing you have to do always with a rebuttal is always agree.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I totally understand. You're right. You're right. I'm with you. Right? So, you know, hey, my name's Jared. I'm calling from XYZ Financial. You know, I came across some information today that I wanted to share with you. We recently have a program that we've just signed up for where we can offer you the lowest rates that people in your industry have ever seen for secured loans. Most of the folks in your position that are taking us up on this opportunity are using these funds to go out and actually expand their business. So let me ask you, is expanding your business something that you're interested in right now?
Man, you're so much better than me. I love it.
It's not that I'm better. It's just that like I'm just thinking with it in a different way. And if I really thought about it, I'd probably pitch it a little differently than I just did. But like you just got to get into this like, okay, hey, take ownership. I came across something valuable. I wanted to share it with you. My big claim, dude, the rates have never been lower to get people like you secured money so that you can grow your business. And then you go in for your first ask. And that goes to the third point. Be prepared to handle objections. This is going to be your ask now where you have to know the 3 things that people are going to say right now that you have to handle. So what are your top 3 objections?
I don't want to do it. I mean, clearly there's that one. Then my other objections I've been getting are...
So not interested? What exactly do they say? Not interested?
They tell me that, they just will say, I'm not interested.
Okay.
Then I've had other people tell me that with the economy, they can't do it right now. And then I've had other people tell me that they just expanded their business. They're not looking to expand.
Do you have set ways that you handle all those?
No, that's why.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We'll keep working on this. We'll come back from the break and we'll dig back in. This is Young Hustlers.
Get your marketing and copy right the first time and save your company from a $60,000, $70,000, $100,000 mistake, because you can utilize what you have already, generate leads, and make more money. You have to simplify the process and keep it simple, and that's what we do at Pixel 506. We will outthink your competition, create the fastest, most effective marketing and web design, and grow your business with leads and effective top-notch marketing strategies. Turn that $60,000, $100,000 mistake into $1 million profit. Sign up now at pixel506.com. If you are a business owner who needs custom software solutions through Amazon Web Services to automate, speed up, and enhance your business so you can focus on what you do best, which is grow your company, let Nico's Computer Engineering get you started today. With a free consultation, CEO and owner Tim Clark has spent the last 10 years building custom software for companies around the United States. Whatever your need is, whatever industry, if you need efficiency, Tim Clark can help you. Nico's Computer Engineering knows that you value speed to market. That's why we have the fastest turnaround and software implementation on the planet. If you want to get started with Nikos, go to nicoce.com. That's nicoce.com to get started right now.
Franchising is listed by Grant Cardone as one of the ways to become a millionaire. Let the experts at Fran Finders be with you every step of the way as your partner finding, buying, selling, and promoting franchises. With over 10 years experience, Fran Finders is the company to help get set up with franchising, to help you get set up with owning your own franchise and finding a franchise that's right for you. Visit franfinders.com. That's franfinders.com to get started with your search today.
Are you tired of buying ads? How much would 5 times more visitors from search engines like Google or Bing do for your business? Link Research Tools helps you increase that free organic traffic, with companies like Hertz, MTV, and LinkedIn have increased their revenue as much as 600% using Link Research Tools. We have offerings to get your business to become the dominant force on the internet. The secret of internet traffic is what we give you. We convert that traffic into cash flow for your business. Learn more at linkedresearchtools.com. That's linkresearchtools.com and sign up now.
So we're talking to Paul here about his financial services pitch, and I'm gonna let you drop off here. But where I was getting with him was, you've got to have your pitch tight. It's got to be concise. You have to have the right amount of words in there, but most importantly, you have to be prepared to handle the objections. So what he was saying was the top 3 that he has are not interested. We're not expanding our business right now, or we recently expanded it. And then, we're not looking to make a move like this because of the economy right now. So now you've got to move in. You've got to make sure that you always agree. You've got to have your set tracks on handling the objection. Make sure you're addressing it. Make sure you're acknowledging it. And then you actually want to move in the direction of the objection. Okay? So let's go to the next caller. Dave from Philly.
Jared, what's up, man?
Dave, welcome to the show, bro.
How you doing, brother?
Good, man.
We talked a couple of months ago. We've talked several times. I'm from one town over from the future Mrs. JG.
Oh, there you go, man. There you go. What do you do? What are you pitching on?
I sell medical alarms.
Okay.
I've actually been talking with Grant and you guys for several years on this, and I'm recently in a position now. What I'm doing is I stepped away from the sales end of it, and I'm moving over to help develop a program for this company that I'm with, which is a veterans company, Blue Star Veterans Network, to employ veterans as openers for different military organizations to create our leads. Mm-hmm. So basically, I'm working on about a 15-second, 20-second, completely cold open. The one positive that I really have going in is it's always going to be a branded group that the company is putting out. For instance, the open to my pitch is, "Hey, Jared, how you doing? My name's Dave. I'm a fellow American Legion member." So obviously I'm calling within the American Legion folks. So I got a little bit of a hook for them to stay on.
Yeah, I love that.
But my goal is just to create a for them to accept a call from one of my closers. Okay, so what I have right now is, Hey, Jared, how you doing? My name's Dave. I'm a fellow American Legion member. Listen, I wanted to call you and just let you know that we recently partnered with a veteran-owned and operated company called Blue Star Veterans Network. Okay, and what they do is they provide medical alert buttons, the button that someone would wear and press for help if they need it. Are you familiar with what those are?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Excellent. Listen, being that they partnered with us, they promised us a really good discount. All they want to do is just introduce themselves over the phone. We wanted to let you know that they're going to be calling just to let you know what they can offer you, what our discount is. Would that be all right? And now the one thing is, I do need to ask that. I have to ask that one question. I know it's a yes or no, but I got to ask that question by my company standards. So I got to get that yes. Otherwise, I try to phrase it a little less open-ended.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, like people think that asking yes or no questions early on are tricky. If you know what answer you're trying to elicit from the customer, then ask the question. You know, and
right.
then if the answer is negative, then you have to be able to handle it. So like early on in our pitch, we'll ask, hey, do you have a minute? Hey, my name's Jared. I'm calling from Grant Cardone's office. Do you have a minute? And most people are like, oh, well, you're begging for an objection at the beginning of the call. But every single one of my guys knows how to handle it. They know how to handle it. They know how to address it. They know how to move past it. And it actually removes. So like for our program, we have, not interested, don't have the time, not decision maker. Those are like our top 3 objections. Okay? Sure. So if I get the time objection once, I can cross it out if I can handle it. So now I only got to worry about handling 2 objections. So how are you handling it when somebody says, hey, yeah, I know what those are, but I'm not interested?
Listen, I understand you're not interested. I'm not interested either, and I couldn't sell you one if I wanted to. All they want to do is give you a 2-3 minute introduction. It doesn't have to be today. It could be in the next couple of days, just to let you know how their services are going to help you in the future. Because they're partnered with us as being in the Legion. So we just want to know, we want you to know that it's there for you. If today's not good, would Friday be better? So I definitely acknowledge it. I do the acknowledge, accept, and roll over it.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad. Now you just got to think with. So in my mind, what I think is, I'm an elderly person.
And all these people are 90 and above.
Yeah.
And yes, 90 and above. That is the actual demographic.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking like, in my mind, I'm thinking you got the 90-year-old guy who's like, he's like, I don't need your goddamn alarm. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna live forever. I don't know if that's something you guys run into, but that was like the first thing that came into my mind.
Every time, Jared, every 90-year-old I talk to doesn't need it yet because they're not old enough.
Right. Another thing that you might want to do is you might want to play into the like one thing that I just came into my mind was playing on the family thing, like the other relatives.
Right.
I don't know if you know much about their living situation. Are they living alone? Maybe dropping some statistics in there early on about the importance of it, because in my mind, I'm thinking, right now, I'm 90 years old. I don't feel like I have a need for this. So if you could bring in some data where you could say, hey, my name's Dave. I'm calling with so-and-so, yada-da, the American Legion, a fellow American Legion member. Hey, the reason for the call today is we recently came across some data that showed that elderly folks, whatever you want to call them, I don't know, elderly folks who have medical alarms, when they have accidents, response rates are 14 times faster and can improve the treatment or whatever. Like, get some data like that. You see where I'm going?
Right.
So like, hey, we can get an ambulance. We can respond up to 14 times faster. What does faster response time mean for you in a case like that? It means you get to enjoy a few more years of your life. You get to, you get to know that your kids are going to be, more safe, more secure. Like, I'm thinking like you want to maybe bring some of that into there. But I mean, other than that, that's pretty solid, man. I liked it.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome, man. Hey, I appreciate you emailing me that list of 50 books that you sent to me.
Hey, you got it, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in. Let's go to Mark from Miami.
Jared, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How's it going?
Very good, very good. Thank you very much for asking. I had a question for you first and foremost.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, I called you a few weeks ago because I have to say you're very inspiring to me. I love your show and get a lot of useful tips. So here's the deal. My company, Platina Seafood, is an importer and producer of farm-raised Atlantic salmon products. So to just give you an idea, in essence, what we're doing is that we're selling a commodity, and we've branded it. So basically, all our products come packaged with our brand, basically, which is very nicely designed. And so what we do basically is that we sell to like a lot of seafood distributors, cruise lines, food service distributors. But one of the new markets that I want to get into are restaurant chains. So to give you an idea, we sell already to a couple of very big national accounts. I can't say who they are for non-disclosure reasons that we've signed on contracts and so forth. But there are many restaurant chains that, because of, let's say they have 100 locations throughout the country, for them logistically it's impossible for them to use a fresh product. So what they do is that they'll use a 6-ounce or an 8-ounce frozen salmon portion. And what I'm having a hard time is getting through to the buyers of the restaurant chains. And the reason is that I'll call the corporate office. Maybe I'll call one of the restaurants first, ask to speak with the manager. I'll say, hey, what kind of salmon do you use? Is it from Chile? Is it from Norway? I don't want to get too technical because maybe I'm mentioning a few keywords that are pertaining my industry, and you'd have to be
good.
In
You're
my
listening. You're listening. Yeah, I like that.
So, but anyway, so like I say, once I call the corporate office to speak with, let's say, the head of procurement or, the buyer of seafood items, I get the voicemail. I cannot get these guys on the phone. And I'll call 5, 6, 7, 10 times, and call after call, I get the voicemail. So you had told me, I think when I called you the last time, I was asking you, do we send an email? Do I call? Do I follow it up with an email? But I seem to do that. And how do I hack that? Do I get in touch with them on LinkedIn?
All of the above. All of the above.
Uh-huh.
Like when you're doing what you're doing and you're going after higher transaction amounts, it's not 3 calls from a list and then you move on. You have to have a targeted assault on a client, which means you're hitting them from all angles. One thing I will tell you, always leave a voicemail and always send an email. Always 2 forms of communication. The likelihood that you're going to sell your product over a voicemail or over an email is very slim, okay? Uh-huh. So one thing that I do, if I hear my guys on the phone in there and they're pitching on a voicemail, hey, we want to come, we want to do sales training for you, we can help increase your ROI, increase productivity 30% in 30 days or whatever they're doing over a voicemail. The second they hang up, I'm like, that guy will never call you back because he's making his decision off of a voicemail, off of your pitch on a voicemail of your product. Mm-hmm. I want to have more control than that. Do you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so don't pitch yourself over a voicemail, which means you have to have another reason to call. Okay? So whether that is, hey, I wanted to call you and offer you a free assessment, a free ROI analysis of your current food supply source. Absolutely free of charge. I want to make sure that you're getting the best deal possible. This is something we charge $2,500 for. I'm willing to do it for you absolutely free, just to make sure that there aren't more efficient ways of you guys doing business. That could be one call. Next call could be, hey, I was just doing some research and I came across an article in the Restaurateurs Food Buyers Magazine Association that talked about ways that you can increase quality and actually decrease cost. Would love to share that with you. So have a reason to call every time you call. You hear what I'm saying? You with me?
100%.
So don't just call up and say, hey, this is Mark. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do to create some consistency with your 6 to 8 ounce salmon portions nationwide across your entire chain. These people are hard to get to, right? They're getting hit on by everybody. Food service is a very competitive space to be in, so you have to be different. You have to be persistent. right? Don't pitch over an email. Don't pitch over a voicemail. You just got to keep banging away. When you call somebody, you leave a voicemail. When you go back to the receptionist, hey, when John isn't available, who's next in charge? And then go to the next person. Hey, when Jared's not available, who's in charge? Talk to somebody, man. Talk to somebody. It'll get your foot in the door, and you can start wiggling around and weaseling around to see if you can connect with some influencers that can give you some information that'll kind of help you move through the organization. You may find out from one of the influencers that the buyer's brother supplies all the food, and they've been working together for 20 years, right? That may be a hard account to crack, okay? So I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying that it's good data that you're not getting right now if you're not trying to wiggle around through and find, what do they say, water beats the rock? Out in Utah, they got that Rainbow Bridge. It was a hole burrowed straight through a rock because water just kept hitting it and kept hitting it and kept hitting it and kept hitting it. It wore it out, and eventually it's just this big dome. So the water beats the rock, man. Find a way. Find a way. I thank you for your call, Mark. Hope it was helpful. All right, who we got next? Andre from Atlanta. ATL. I probably shouldn't.
Hey, how's it going?
Jordan's going to kill me. Andre, how's it going, man? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Good. What's your question?
Well, I have one question. I really want to refine my pitch so I'm able to produce. How can I develop better communication skills so I can get the job that I want?
Okay, so this is a great question. What was the name? Andre. What Andre's asking is how can he elevate his level of communication with people so that he gets better opportunities? You talking in a job interview?
Yes. Like over the phone, setting up interviews over the phone.
Okay.
Getting past HR, stuff like that.
Okay, so great question. So Andre's trying to get a job. He wants to sound more professional, and he actually wants to be able to get through to get an interview. First, I'll tell you, just like I was telling Mark before, you have to find a way. If the door you're knocking on isn't opening, you have to find another way. It's easier to go from the top down than it is to go from the bottom up, okay? So what I would do is I would actually reach out to the person above. You know, I've reached out to a CEO before and said, hey, I'd love, reach out for a training director over and over and over again, nothing. Reach out directly to the CEO. Hey, that's not my job. I have people that handle that, but here's John's info. Tell him I told you to reach out to him. And so now I can call it to the HR director, whoever, and say, hey, I was talking with the CEO. He wanted me to get in contact with you. He requested this personally. When can we connect? So you'll always, if you're not having success at the HR level, you can work your way down. Just go CEO, VP of Sales, Executive Vice President of Human Resource, whatever. Just work your way down from the top to the person that you need to get to. Very few people actually do that, and it's the best way to get you in. The second thing you need to do is when you are presenting, when you are talking, when you're communicating to people, you have to think in terms of, I have a guy in the office who he had a big, huge problem in the beginning with the way that he would communicate. We're selling a product to multi-millionaire business owners, and he's in there duding and broing, and he would give exaggerated examples to the point where it was like we made him start doing push-ups. Every time he said something stupid on a call, we'd make him do 20 push-ups. I mean, there were days when I swear he did 200 push-ups. I mean, he would literally be sweating because he'd be doing so many push-ups. So what I did with him is I was like, dude, you have to get to the point where your level of communication is the way it would be if you were communicating with the President of the United States or with Warren Buffett. I literally printed out a picture of Warren Buffett and I put it right in front of him so he was looking at it every day when he was selling over the phone. And if I heard him slipping, I'd be like, sell to Uncle Warren. Pitch to Warren Buffett. How would you sound if you had one shot in front of the richest, most successful man on the planet to get your point across? His impression of you, his confidence in you, his certainty in you, his belief in your ability to learn, his belief in your ability to educate yourself. Those are all things that are going to be made simply off the way that you communicate. I was in the same boat. When I came to work for Grant, I was 25 years old, 26 years old. And for me, I'm calling multimillionaire business owners. I'm talking to them about their sales process. And I got to figure out how can I look younger than I sound even, right? How can I get to the point where I can get respect from these guys? So you need to go ahead.
How did you work your way up? Like, how did you find the contact information? Like, what steps did you execute to make that happen?
Dude, you can find contact information for anybody on the internet if you look. The Better Business Bureau always has contact information. LinkedIn has contact information. Social platforms have information. I mean, literally, you have to get creative. When you're trying to search for one person, you have to get creative. Look up the CEO and look in news articles, right? See if they've written anything in the news. You can also go on their webpage and find out, what their email designation is. So, like, if for example, my mom is Kristen at kristenglant.com, and her website is www.kristenglant.com. I could go through and find out one person in that organization who their email address was. Let's say it was her assistant, and her assistant's email address was Jennifer at kristenglant.com. You can actually go through and try to find out. There's email testers where you can test and see if an email is actually hot, if it's a live email. I think it's called Email Tester. If you just Google Email Tester, you can actually plug an email address in and it'll tell you if it's a live email address or not. So there's things that you can do. There's ways that you can get the information. But if you just go on their website, probably 80% of the time it's not going to be there. You have to be creative. Yeah. Call the receptionist. Find out who the person below them is. Hey, I've got some important information I need to get over to John. It was about something that he and I had communicated with in the past. I need to send him an email. Where can I send it to? I need to text him some information. He should be expecting it. And get somebody's email address, and then you can play around with the configuration in most cases to get to the next person that you want to see. So, man, I hope that helped. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Be creative, man. Water beats the rock. Thanks for the call, brother. Take care. Andy from New York, last caller of the day.
Hey, Jared, what's going on, man?
Andy, my man. What's your question?
Hey, man, Hey, first of all, I wanted to thank you and Grant both because you've helped me double my income in 6 months and dominate sales within my company.
Love that, bro.
Hey, man, tomorrow the company is interviewing for a sales director position, and I threw my hat in the ring. I want to implement what's worked for me company-wide. I'm 25 years old, and I know that I'm going to get an experience objection from the board. And, the way I look at it, I'm not interested in being an expert in what was. I'm interested in, where we're going as a company. What advice would you give me so that I can dominate the pitch and close those guys in the first 5 minutes and close up that position tomorrow, man?
Have a plan. Be prepared. Lay everything out. See if they're going to base their experience decision on you based on how long you've worked there. But if you've been there for 6 years, and how long you been there?
I've been there 7 months, man.
Okay, so he's been with the company for 7 months. The average person works 9 to 5. Let's say you're 7 to 10. You work on the weekends. Experience level, you're probably twice that. Experience level and commitment are two different things. Would you agree that you have people, sir, that have more experience that aren't committed to the job, to working for you in this company, that are committed at less than 100%?
Yeah, but I can tell you I'm the most committed person they're ever going to find. No,
I'm just telling you, ask that question. Ask them that question. If they say, hey, you know what, we love everything that you've shown us here, but we have some questions about your experience and your time here. You could say, hey, you know what, I completely understand why you'd feel that way. I was thinking that when I walked in here too. But then I started thinking about how committed I am to this organization. Do you have people that have worked here for longer than me that you don't feel are fully committed to your company?
Oh, man, I love that.
Because what I can bring you is commitment. And in fact, I'm so committed to this position that I took the time to write out my plan for the first 90 days and the first 6 months about what I would like to see. And keep in mind, I'm coming out of the position, right? I was in the job last week. I'm in the trenches. I know the needs of the customers. I know the needs of the other people on the team here. And this is a plan that I'd like to work together with you guys on to implement should you see some value here. Because again, I'm committed. I'm committed to this organization. I'm committed to helping it grow, and I'm committed to helping you guys however you see that looking.
Oh, that's great. I'm going to walk in. I'm going to give them all the plan, put it in all their hands, and show them my level of commitment. I love the word commitment there, Jared. Thank you.
Yep. And another thing too is don't go in there like you know it all, right? So you have to acknowledge their experience. Hey, I completely understand that you feel I'm inexperienced. When I walked into this room, I'm looking at all you people. You guys have been doing this for a really long time. You're extremely committed. And that's really why I threw my name in the hat, because I see your commitment level. It inspires me. I feel like I can make a contribution. And, the truth is I feel like I'm more committed than people that you have in this company that have more experience. And then kind of work into there. So here is a plan that I was thinking that we could use. Or there could be nothing here. I'm not sure. You guys are the experts. You're the one with all the experience. But I just wanted to make sure that I didn't just tell you I'm committed to this, that I actually came with something to show it, because talk's cheap, right?
Yeah, that's great, because it puts me on the same, not the same level as them, but definitely the same playing field, because my level of commitment's at the same level as anyone in that room.
Yeah, and you want to elevate them too. Like, they've got big egos. We're the boss. We're the board.
Yeah.
We make the calls. Hey, it'd be such an opportunity to work with you guys. You've built something so amazing here. I would love to find an opportunity to contribute to you guys and the growth of this company. Make sure you're really acknowledging them in the deal, but not to the point where they feel like you're licking their asshole,
Well said.
Sorry, that was
okay,
a little vulgar.
You.
All right, guys.
Well,
so I appreciate you calling in, Andy. Great to hear your story, man. I love hearing that when people call in and they say that their income's doubled. I mean, we're changing lives, man. Changing lives. So look. People are out here. They've got the people who've been following the show. They're taking the information, they're using it, and it's working. They're increasing their income. They're getting promoted, right? They're expanding their potential. So if those things aren't happening for you, you got to call into the show. Get some help. That's what we're here for. This show is between 30 minutes and 60 minutes every week, and the only goal that I have, that Grant has with this show, is to help people. And I don't have all the answers. I'm not perfect. I'm not the expert. There's a lot of people out there that are more successful than I am. But I want to help. That's the difference. I show up here every week because I just want to help where I can. And so I hope you guys got a lot out of this show. Remember the 3 points on your pitch. Keep it concise. Clearly communicate what you're asking. Don't make people guess. Don't make them overthink it. They got a lot on their plate. And number 3, be prepared to handle the top 3 objections that you know you're going to hear. And make sure that you always agree with the customer before you handle the objection. So thank you so much for coming out. We'll see you next week. This is Young Hustlers, Thursday, noon, East Coast Standard Time. We'll be back. Don't miss the Cardone Zone tomorrow. Great show. And remember, the only ones that condemn the hustle are the ones who have already given up on the hustle themselves. We'll see you next week.
Take the guesswork out of your life. Have you ever felt like you had no idea what to do or what direction to go? Have you spent hours trying to figure out what your purpose is? Look no further. We at Pardone have a solution that identifies who you are, what you're supposed to do, and how you can achieve it through easy and simple steps. There's no more guessing, no more feeling lost. You can now get back on track and get the wealth in your life you deserve. Whether you're a business owner, entrepreneur, millennial, we can help. Visit partem.me, that's partem.me, to get started right now.